All right, let's get started with coding. So let's write ourselves a little plugin. But first, what we need to do is we need to set up this structure for our first plugin. And this will be kind of a template for any further plugin project you'll be starting, so you will always know what steps you need to undertake to make everything ready to get the plugins going. So yeah, let me just open up Visual Studio. So let's create ourselves a new project. And I will, of course, I will just type in class library. And just as I told you in the first tutorial, there's this class library .NET framework. This is the one that you want, and just click on next. Let's say my company name is Live Solutions. So I will name my plugin like ls.plugins. Let's say account plugin. Account plugins. And also let's make this uppercase and this one as well. So ls.plugins.account plugins sounds like a good name. So .NET Framework 4.6.2. Yeah, I believe that's it. Let's create it. All right, so now that we have this all open up, there's a couple of things you need to do. So the first thing you need to make sure is that this plugin assembly is signed. Now that's very easy to fix. You just right click on the project and click on properties. Then go to code to signing here at the bottom and click on sign this assembly. Now under choose a strong key file name, click on new, and key file name is usually I just use key, and that's actually good enough. And I don't want to protect my key with a password. It's just fine. Let's just click on OK. And now this will generate this key.snk file. That's the first step. Now the next thing you might want to do is, that's a bit of a commercial for my website. No, just kidding. Just go to laurosuchadonli.com/pb. Yeah, forgot about this one. So there's this little file that we'll be using, and I'll just copy all the code that's here, and that PB stands for plugin boilerplate. I'll be discussing this plugin boilerplate on and on in the next tutorial, but for now, just go back to Visual Studio, right click on the project, click on add new item, and I'll name this plugin boilerplate.cs. Replace this internal class, we'll keep the namespace and just paste this thing that you've copied. Cut this thing and paste it here below. And you can delete this ls.utils. That's not necessary. And there's one extra closing bracket here at the bottom if you do that. And then what you can also do is try to press Ctrl, Shift, and P. That'll open what's called a feature search and try to search for format document. Let's see if that works. That almost never works, but in this case it did work, and I'm very happy about it. It just, in this example, it kind of just indented the whole thing a bit back so that it's nicely indented with this namespace here. Now, this thing again is, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Let's not worry about this so much. You will need this file. And I'll explain everything what is in here. So if you can believe me that there are no viruses here, that's already great. If not, let's wait until the other tutorial until you learn what this all means. But for now, you can see that we have some unresolved stuff, especially this Microsoft.xrm and this iPlugin. Right click on this ls.plugins.account plugin, manage NuGet packages, and let's search for core assemblies and under browse, of course. Yeah, that's the one. Microsoft.crm sdk.core-assemblies. This is the file that you need. Just click on download, and this will download all the CRM stuff that you need to implement the plugins. Right, so as you can see, a whole bunch of stuff has been installed. And if I go back to plugin boilerplate, I can see that Microsoft XRM is now properly resolved, as well as this iPlugin and all of this fancy CRM stuff that we'll be using in the future tutorials. So that's actually it. So yeah, the next step that you want to do is let's go to this class1.cs. If you don't have this file, you can always right click on the project, click on add and new item and just add a new class. In my case, I will rename this. So this class1 will essentially be your plugin code. This is the little piece of code that I was referring to in the previous tutorials. So we'll be extending this public class1. Of course, we'll rename it into something more meaningful. Capitalize account name. Yeah, capitalize account name sounds like a great name for a plugin. So when it comes to naming the plugins, it's always useful to name them descriptive, but I guess you already knew that. So the next thing that you want to do is type a colon and type plugin boilerplate, enter. And now this plugin boilerplate is an abstract class, which means that there are some methods which need to be implemented. And especially before that, you see there's this class1.cs. Let me just rename that to this thing. So right click, click quick actions, and then rename file to capitalize to this thing. So yeah, this looks better. Now the next thing that I want to do is right click, quick actions, implement abstract class. And what this does is it actually prepares everything for us. So there's this action, and inside here we have this iPlugin context, we have organization service and iTracing service. These are three most common things that you will need and interact with when it comes to plugin creation, but more on that later. I don't know, I think we're good enough. We set up everything we need to start working on the actual plugin. Yeah, pretty much. And if that's not the case, we'll just fix that in the next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. This was Laura. It was so nice meeting you. Thanks for subscribing and see you in the next one. Cheers.